Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Finally NEET 2023 is over now, and how was your exam? Please let me know in the comment section. So I am making this particular video because I have received the question paper now in my hand, and so first of all, before starting this video, I just want to I want to convey one important message that now your exam is got over now, and it is not the time for you to take get stressed and pondering over that, okay, what may be the result, what may be the marks, whether you will be selected or not. Please stop pondering over this and thinking about this. Just take rest, just return, just after returning to the home, just have a proper meal and then just get a proper rest. Okay, so it is not the time to take stress. So but why I am making this particular video is simply that I have just got my question paper in my hand, and just I want to solve the physics questions that just in order to inform you that okay, these may be the probable solutions. But again, I am telling you that please do not get stressed, and also this is not final what I am going to say you, but just I am solving it first of all. I am solving the 1 minute. So my text booklet code for which I am solving is F1. Okay, so F1, and I am solving now the physics questions of that group A, and I am starting in a retrograde manner. That means I am starting from exactly from the question number 35. Okay, so without getting any delay, so just let's start it. So just have a look at what is the question. So now I am I am not gonna giving you a detailed explanation. I'm just solving the question. Just have a look and just check whether you marked it correct or not. Okay, so first of all, the question is two bodies of mass m and 9m are placed at a distance r. The gravitational potential on the line joining the two bodies where the gravitational field equals to 0 will be. So simply, according to our question, two bodies are there having mass m and 9m, and they are separated from each other by a distance of r. Clear? Now your question is that you have to find out the potential at that point within that point on the line joining the two bodies where the field is 0. So first of all you have to find out the position where the field is 0, then I have to calculate the potential in that region, isn't it? So let's start it. So if I just want to find out the distance from mass m, suppose this is the point P where the field is 0. If the field has to be 0, then I hope you know that okay, there is a direct formula to calculate it. Then it is going to be r divided by 1 plus minus root over of 9m by m. So this is a direct formula which I can apply here clearly. So r divided by, obviously I am going to take it positive because since both are the positive charge, so because obviously, just 1 minute. Sorry, here I have, because since they are talking about the gravitational potential, so gravitational field, the gravitational field to be 0, that has to be within that point between the two masses. So obviously it has to be positive. So 1 plus 3, so it is going to be r by 4. So at a distance r by 4 from the mass m, the gravitational field will be 0. If you don't know this particular formula, then what you can do, simply just equate the gravitational field of the two mass. That means what I am trying to say is that the electric field due to the mass m at this particular point P is, this is nothing but G capital M 9m divided by they are talking about the electric field. So the gravitational field at this particular point due to the mass m is Gm by x square. That will be equal to the gravitational field due to the mass 9m. So G into 9m divided by 9 minus x, r minus x whole square, because obviously the distance from the 9m will be r minus x square, and just solve for x and you will also find this r by 4. So at this particular position you have been asked to find out the the gravitational potential. So now you tell me that what will be the gravitational potential at this particular point. So the gravitational potential at this particular point P will be very clearly due to m, what will be this, that will be minus Gm divided by r by 4 minus, and also what will be the gravitational potential due to minus 9, that will be 9m. So G into 9m divided by, and distance is obviously r minus r by 4, that means 3r by 4. so automatically it is going to be 3R by 4. So 4 gm by R, this is 4, so here clearly it will be 3, and 12 gm by R, so it is finally coming out to be minus 16 gm by R. So obviously your correct option is going to be option 2, minus 16 gm by R. Is that very clear? Okay, so having solved solved that, now come to the next question number 34, that what is the ratio of frequency of the fundamental harmonic produced by the open pipe to that of the closed pipe. So clearly I am not explaining much. Obviously this is going to be V by 2L for the fundamental frequency for fundamental harmonic for the open pipe is V by 2L is to V by 4L. So it is clearly coming out to be 2:1. So your correct option is option number 1. Okay, is that clear? Okay, now come to the next question. Next question, it has been asked that in hydrogen spectrum the shortest wavelength in the Balmer series is lambda. So the shortest wavelength in the bracket series will be, so here you have to, so two equations you have to write down simply. So for Balmer series, what will be the formula? Simply the formula will be 1 by lambda equals to Rydberg constant RH into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square into z square, right? But here you have to understand that they have been asked about due to the shortest wavelength. So obviously the shortest wavelength, you will find the shortest wavelength when the energy gap will be maximum, and for the energy gap to be maximum, the lowermost electron level should be, obviously since they are talking about the Balmer series, so it has to be n equals to 2, but so the electron has to jump to n equals to 2 from where, so that the energy gap becomes maximum. So this is very clear. If n equals to infinity the electron jumps, then the energy gap will be maximum, and since the energy gap is maximum, so lambda will be minimum, because energy is actually equals to hc by lambda. Energy gap is actually inversely proportional to the wavelength. So it is very clear that okay, for these n1 has to be 2 and n2 has to be infinity. Is that very clear? So I am just putting here that, so just 1 minute. So 1 minus 2 square by 1 by infinity, so automatically that is going to be 0. Okay, and into z square, because they are talking about the hydrogen atom, so this is 1 square. So this is my first option, right? So just if I just solve a little bit more, so it is going to be 1 by 4, RH by 4 equals to 1 by lambda. So just mark this equation to be 1, and now come to the next question, that the shortest wavelength for the bracket series. So for the bracket series, it has to jump to at n equals to 4. So let the new shortest wavelength to be lambda dash. So automatically 1 by lambda dash will be equal to RH into 1 by 4 square minus 1 by infinity into 1 square. So it will be automatically RH by 16. Just marked it 1 by 2. Now you just do one thing, just divide 1 by 2, automatically it will come lambda dash by lambda will be equal to 16 by 4. So that lambda dash is coming out to be 4 lambda. So clearly the option is going to be option number 1. Clear? Okay, now come to the next question number 32. Okay, now come to the next question number 32. So question number 32 is just okay, just let me erase this question. So I think this is you are done with this part. Just let me erase this. Okay, now come to the next question, that so an electric field is placed at an angle of 30 degree with an electric field of intensity 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per coulomb. It experiences a total torque equal to 4 Newton meter. So calculate the magnitude of charge on the dipole if the dipole length is 2 centimeter. Okay, so this is also this is a very direct question. So I think that okay. Okay, so yeah, so if there is a electric parallel, there is a electric field in this region, and if I just place a torque in between here. So suppose there is a dipole, sorry, I mean there, if I have placed a dipole here, so obviously that, okay, so if a dipole is placed like that in this position, so that the dipole moment will be in this direction, and just let us assume that, okay, the angle between the electric field and the dipole is theta. So then the torque is actually calculated as P cross E, so which is calculated as PE sine theta, where theta is the angle between the two. Now you know that, okay, now P, what is P? Dipole moment is actually calculated as Q into the distance between the two charges. So let us assume to be L. So it is directly comes out to be torque equals to Q into L E sine theta. So this is going to be your direct formula. Just put the values and get out the answer. So what is your torque? It is clearly written that the torque is, so the torque is how much? The torque is 4 Newton meter equals to, what is Q? Q is you have to calculate the Q, and the L is 2 centimeters, so you have to convert it into meter. Into the electric field is 2 into 10 to the power 5 into the electric field is yeah, I have put the electric field, and this is sine 30 degrees, so that means it is half. It is going to be half. So Q will be cancelled out, and Q will be finally it is coming out to be 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 coulomb. That means 2 microcoulomb. Okay, so the correct option is coming out to be 2 microcoulomb. Clear? Okay, so now come to the next question. Question number 31. Let a wire be suspended from the ceiling, rigid support, and stretched by a weight W attached to the free end. The longitudinal stress at any point of the cross-sectional area A of the wire is. So from a rigid support, according to your question, wire has been suspended wire has been suspended having a area of cross section A, and from the lower end you have you have put a weight W. So what will be the cross sectional area, what will be the longitudinal stress? So you have to understand that what is stress. So simply stress is, you all remember by F by A, but actually this is the restoring force divided by area, or it is the amount of restoring force per unit area. You have to understand that in such a question we generally assume the weight to be massless, and that is why, due to this particular weight which has been which has been applied here, all the tension in each and every point throughout the wire will be same, and that will be equal to W, and that is why the stress at any point throughout the wire should be W by A, and this is going to be your stress. So very clearly it is the correct option is option number 1. Is that clear? Okay, so now come to the next question. So the next question is way more simpler, that the magnetic energy stored in an inductor of inductance 4 microhenry carrying a current of 2 ampere will be. So this is so simple that, okay, you all know that, okay, this energy is nothing but half Li square, and just put the values. Half into, this is 4 into, obviously you have to convert it into Henry, so 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 Henry into 2 square. So this is going to be how much? This is 2, so this is coming out to be 8 into 10 to the power minus 6 joules. So clearly this is 8 microjoules. So correct option is option 3. Clear? So now come to the next question, question number 29. So what about the question number 29? The question number 29 is saying that a Carnot engine having efficiency of 50% when its source is at temperature 3 to 7 degrees Celsius, so the temperature of the sink is. So this is also a very simple question. So efficiency is obviously suppose this is a C, suppose this is the source and this is the sink. Suppose the source is at a temperature T1 and so sink is at a temperature T2. So obviously and the work done automatically becomes, because it is actually a heat is released and it is actually taking a heat Q2, and the rest amount of heat Q1 minus Q2 is being utilized as work. So in such a case the efficiency is calculated as 1 minus T2 by T1. Very simple, where T2 is the temperature of the sink and T1 is the temperature of the source. So now efficiency of the current engine is going to be 50%, so that means it is coming out to be half. So 1 minus the temperature of the sink has been asked, so T2 minus T1. Now you have to remember that, okay, you have to put the temperature in Kelvin. So 327 degrees Celsius is equal to 327 degree plus 273 Kelvin. So it is coming out to be how much? This is coming out to be 600 Kelvin. So just put it here and just try to find out the T2. So just solve it. T2 by 600 is equal to half. So T2 is going to be 300, but you have to understood that 300 has come into Kelvin, so you have to convert it into degree Celsius. Just subtract 270 from here, you will find 27 degrees Celsius, and it is very clearly it is coming out to be option 4. Okay, clearly. Okay, very good. Now come to the okay, so what is the question? What about the question number 28? So just have a look on it. So question number 28 is saying that a temperature of the temperature of a gas is minus 50 degrees Celsius. To what temperature of the gas should be heated so that the RMS speed will be increased by three times? This is also a very simple question. Now you tell me that, okay, how we actually calculate the RMS speed? So RMS speed is actually calculated as root over of 3 root 330 by m, isn't it? So clearly the Vrm is actually directly proportional to the root over of temperature, isn't it? Obviously Kelvin temperature, I can say very clearly from here. So if it is so, then now you tell me, so automatically I am taking, just try to understand that I am taking two conditions. One is minus 50 degrees Celsius, that means 273 minus 50 Kelvin, that is coming out to be how much? This is coming out to be 223 Kelvin. So one situation is 223 Kelvin, another is that temperature in which the RMS speed is becoming 3 times of the previous one. So in this situation, if I say this, that okay, in this situation the previous RMS speed is actually directly proportional to root over of 223 Kelvin. And now if in the new situation, if it is so that okay, the new RMS speed is just let us assume it to be V2, then now V2 will be directly proportional to root V, isn't it? Now according to the question, the V2 has to be, so RMS speed is increased by 3 times, so automatically according to the question V2 has to be 3 times of V1, so V2 will be equal to 3 V1. There shouldn't be any confusion here. Tell me, V2 will be equal to 3 V1. So can I say that okay, if just I am taking it to be any constant k into root over of t will have to be equal to 3 times of, okay, now so sorry, I have done a small mistake here. Your question is saying that so that RMS speed is increased by 3 times. Now here some students may face a confusion that okay, but just they are not saying that the RMS speed is increased 2-3 times. They are talking about it is increased by 3 times. So the amount of increment is 3 times. So actually if the previous velocity was v1 and it is increasing by, so the change in velocity is 3v1, so the new velocity is actually becoming 4v1. Is that clear? You have to, otherwise you cannot solve this. So there is a small catch in this question. Okay, so the v2 have to be 4 times of v1, and if it is so v2 will be clearly k into root over of t will be 4 into root over of 223. Clear? So just solve it, automatically here also a constant will come which will be cancelled out. It is very clear. So the temperature will become 16 into 223 Kelvin, and which will come out to be, just let me calculate this because now it's not the time to waste your time. So this is 3568 Kelvin. Now obviously there is no such option, so just try to convert it into degree Celsius. So 3568 minus 273, so 273 degrees Celsius, it will come out to be how much? 3295 degrees Celsius. So very clearly your correct option is option number 1. Okay, clear? Very good. Now come to the next question number 27. Question number 27 is saying that, so just take a screenshot of this. Okay, just let me erase this. Now come to the next question. Question number 27. The half-life of a radioactive substance is 20 minutes. Just let me note these 3 points. So T half of a radioactive substance is 20 minutes. So in how much time the activity of the substance drops to 1/16 of the initial value. Okay, so without doing much calculation, we can do a very simple thing. So since the t half is 20 minutes, just you try to understand if the initial activity was in 0, so after 20 minutes it should be how much? N naught by 2, very clearly. And again after 20 minutes it will be N naught by 4, half of that. Again after 20 minutes it will be N naught by 8. Again 20 minutes it will be N naught by 16, isn't it? So this is very clear. Now you tell me that okay, how much time it actually needed? I think 20 into how much? Tell me. This is 4, so clearly it is coming out to be 80 minutes. Okay, you could do in a much simpler way that okay, N naught by, okay, so automatically just try to just by thinking like that, you can clearly find out that okay, it is coming out to be 80. Okay, now, or also you could put it in the formula and also clear it. So that was also a way. So okay, so this is clearly coming out to be 80 minutes. Clear? Okay, so come to the next question. So question number 23 I am solving. So the next question is saying that a bullet is fired from a gun at a speed of 280 meter per second in the direction 30 degree above the horizontal, then the maximum height attained by the bullet. So it's a very simple question of projectile velocity. So if a particle is projected with a velocity u with making an angle theta with the horizontal, so the maximum height attained by the particle is simply calculated according to the following equation: u square sine square theta by 2g. Just you put the values. So u is 280 whole square, sine square 30 degree, that means half square, so that is coming out to be half 1 by 4. 2 into, you have been asked to put the value 9.8. okay, so I am just putting 4 here directly. So it is coming out to be how much? 280 multiplied by 280 into 2 into 9.8 into 4. So this is coming out to be just a minute. So this is coming out to be 1000 meter. Okay, so the correct option is 1000 meter. Clear? So this is very simple. Now come to the next question. The next question is saying that the net magnetic flux through any closed surface is always 0. Okay, the simple reason behind that is the number of field lines entering through the closed surface will be equal to the number of field lines exiting from the surface. So that is why always the net magnetic flux through any closed surface is always 0. Clear? Okay, now see, have a look on the next question. That the equivalent capacitance of the system shown in the circuit is. So this is very simple question. I think इससे ज़्यादा easy question तो मतलब क्या ही देंगे. तो देखो ये जो 3 और 3 माइक्रोफैराड जो है ये दोनों सीरीज पैरेलल में है, तो ये एड अप हो जाएगा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये मोर सिंपलर सर्किट होगा. ये तो 3 माइक्रोफैराड है ही, और देखो ये 3 + 3 हो जाएगा ना, मतलब ये तो ऑटोमेटिकली मतलब ये हो जाएगा 6 माइक्रोफैराड. और देखो ये दोनों अभी फिर से सीरीज कॉम्बिनेशन में है, तो देखो ये कैसा होगा, ऑटोमेटिकली द इक्विवेलेंट कैपेसिटेंस विल बी 3 × 6 डिवाइडेड बाय 3 + 6 माइक्रोफैराड. इज दैट क्लियर? So 2 microfarad. So this is a very simple question. Okay, now come to the next question. So a vehicle travels half the distance with a speed v and the remaining distance with a speed 2v. So the average speed is. So do you know that okay how the average speed is calculated? So the formula of the average speed is always the total distance. So since they are talking about speed, so I will use distance. Okay, so the total distance covered divided by the total time taken. Okay, so now you tell me that okay what has been happened. So in a journey, half of the distance, so half of, suppose the total distance is d, so half of the distance has been, the vehicle has gone half of the distance with a velocity v, and the rest half of the distance with a velocity 2v. Now you tell me that, okay, if it is so, then what is the total distance covered? So obviously it is very clear that the total distance which has been covered by the particle is simply d whole divided by what is the total time taken. Now you tell me, in the first half of the journey, the time taken t1 is obviously the distance by velocity, so this is coming out to be d by 2v, and in the later half of the journey, the time taken is clearly d by 2 into 2v, so that is coming out to be d by 4v. Is that very clear? So just I am doing this d by 2v by d by 4v. So what ultimately it is coming out to be how much? This is coming out to be 1 by 2v plus 1 by 4v. So this is coming out to be 4v by 3. So clearly the option is option number 2. Okay, so so I will I will solve the rest of the questions in the next video, so that the video do not get unnecessarily lengthened. Okay, so I am meeting you soon in the next video, and if you like my video, then don't forget to subscribe my channel and like the video. So okay, so goodbye.